day everyone, I am Ashley Kate C. DACARA. I will talk you through the most controversial case that sparked the cabinet crisis in the Philippine government way back 1923. When local politicians were appointed to the cabinet, and few top-notch lawyers secured the position to the Supreme Court, Filipino men had the opportunity to be involved in policy making. After securing key positions in the government, Filipino people began to show the Americans that we are competent enough to manage our own affairs, and expected that it would not be long enough until the American would consider our compliance to the Jones Law and would later on give us our independence. Without knowing that under Jones Law, we are only promised to be given independence once a government is established, so there could be Filipino men placed in the key positions, because colonial officials could not say no to the demand of the Filipinos for independence, for it would only hinder their objective to bring peace. Not until in the 1920s presidential elections, the Democrats were defeated and made the Filipinos devastated with their aspirations. The following years, Leonard Wood and William Cameron Forbes were sent to a mission by President Warren Harding after he took office. The mission is called as the Wood-Forbes Mission, which aims to observe if the Filipino men had complied with the conditions of Jones Law. For this mission, they have conducted an exhaustive investigation and visited 48 provinces and 449 municipalities and ended up with a result that is not favorable for the Filipinos' aspiration for independence. They have learned that corruption and patronage system were prevalent in government-owned and controlled corporations. It even singled out anomalous transactions in administration of public land and malpractices in banking that resulted in the bankruptcy of Philippine National Bank. After hearing it, members of the Nationalist Party, including Quezon, were offended by the report because it implies that Filipino leaders were corrupt and incompetent and not deserving to be given independence soon enough. When Wood retired from the U.S. Army in 1921, he was appointed as the Governor-General by the Republican President Warren Harding, and a year after that, in 1922, he started appointing officials including Jose P. Laurel, which he appointed as the Undersecretary of Interior Department and later on promoted as the Secretary of Interior Department. In the consecutive year, July 21 of 1923, Governor-General Wood decided to reinstate Ray Conley as the chief of the Vice Squad of the Manila Police, and this decision made the anti-Wood Filipino officials furious because Ray Conley is involved in cases including falsification of documents, drug-involved cases, and he was also accused for receiving money from gamblers. This was his most controversial case, known as the Conley bribery case, which is a criminal and administrative case that made it under Jose P. Laurel's responsibility as the current Secretary of Interior Department. This case was initiated by Mr. Almario with alleged fake telephone conversation. He was the secretary of the current Manila Mayor, Mayor Ramon Fernandez, who presented the case to the Governor-General Wood. Governor-General Wood told him to file the mentioned case in court. He did, but later on, Conley was acquitted. Mayor Ramon Fernandez and Jose P. Laurel did not support the decision of the court and decided to conduct their own administrative investigation and requested Governor Wood to allow them to do so. But instead of granting their request, Governor Wood, who believes in Conley's innocence, decided to create his board panel with other government officials who found Conley not guilty and dismissed his case. Hence, after being acquitted, Ray Conley decided to resign and Wood accepted it. Laurel and Fernandez were insulted knowing that the board acquitted Conley, and even the decision implies that their case against him was weak. They emphasized that Conley was not acquitted for his innocence, but the officials sided with him because he is an American. Conflict in the cabinet started when Jose P. Laurel and Mayor Ramon Fernandez decided to resign. Wood tried to stop them from doing so, but Laurel said that the honor of his country and his personal integrity does not allow him to continue and proceeded with his resignation. Cabinet crisis started when, in support of Laurel, Filipino officials also gave up their position. Members of the Council of State such as President Quezon, Speaker Manuel Rojas, and Jose Abad Santos also tendered their resignation. Governor-General Wood tried to win back those Filipino officials who gave up their position, But his gestures were not reciprocated and had no choice but to accept their resignation. Lastly, this shows the honor and integrity of the Filipino public officials back then, because they did not accept and tolerate what they saw as wrongdoings of the Governor General Wood and stood on what they thought was right.